Manifesto of the Free Humans. Chapter 12. PermAgora. A key aspect of the conscious resistance is that humanity needs to reevaluate the nature of our interpersonal relationships and connections, not only when it comes to each other, but our personal relationship with animals and the planet itself. The morality of our relationship with the planet and animals should be reviewed, and in fact must be reviewed if we want to survive with any type of prosperity. If the goal is consistency, we must take the time to examine and challenge every one of our preconceived notions of the world. Ultimately, this comes down to an individual choosing to review and adjust their own behaviors and actions, not only in relation to taxation and voting, but every single one of our daily habits which are not aligned with our principles. When imagining our ideal community, we do not envision a place where the land is exploited, polluted, and stripped of the finite resources located within the earth. We have no intention of living in a community where the earth is viewed as an object to dominate, a means to an end, or a backdrop to our consumerist lifestyles. Refusing to initiate violence in our relationship should extend to all our relationships, including the relationship with this planet. These realizations led us to the next corner of the triangle, PermAgora, or sustainability. We wish to create an intentional community that honors the sovereignty of every individual to be free to make their own choices provided they harm no other. In our community, this would extend to our philosophy on the environment. This means that any permanent resident or visitor to this community would be voluntarily choosing to live in harmony with the environment and community at large. We are not interested in forcing other free humans outside of our community to live as we choose in this ideal intentional community. Instead, we hope to live as an example of what is possible when conscious individuals choose to change their own behavior without the need for threats from the state and other forms of coercion. A great example of living a low-impact lifestyle without the force of law is environmental activist and adventurist Rob Greenfield. He is known for taking on extreme adventures in order to highlight environmental damage and waste. Greenfield has taken several bicycle tours across the U.S., dumpster diving in every city and small town he stopped in. Greenfield estimates that he has dumpster dived in over 2,000 dumpsters in over 25 states. In 2016, he launched his Trash Me project, which saw him spend a month wearing all of the trash he created. Using a special suit, he walked around for 30 days with bags of trash attached to him. All of this was done to raise awareness about important aspects of the fight for a healthier species and planet. The best part of all, Greenfield is not out there calling for government intervention. He recognizes that the only way to heal the planet is through individual awareness and action. Hopefully, with the help of people like Rob, we can help inspire us to action before our time on this planet expires. Within our intentional community, sustainable practices will be employed in the process of building shelter, growing food, and working with animals. Sustainable means using technologies and practices that do not deplete resources and create as little waste as possible. We imagine a community living in harmony with the environment and leading low-impact lifestyles. Some activists have also begun calling for regenerative practices that not only sustain the environment, but regenerate the soil and return it to its naturally healthy state. In this way, regenerative activism might be thought of as taking actions that sustain and regenerate the health of the individual as well as the community at large. When we began researching sustainable practices and experimenting with urban farming, we consistently found references to permaculture. Permaculture is a portmanteau of permanent agriculture and culture. It refers to an approach to designing communities and perennial agricultural systems based on relationships found in nature. It is also expanded into a philosophy on how we interact with the world. Permaculture systems have the potential to be far more productive and much less energy intensive than conventional agriculture. Permaculture was first developed by Austrian farmer Sepp Holzer on his own farm in the early 1960s, and then further theoretically developed by Australians Bill Mollison and David Holmgren during the 1970s. Essential to permaculture is the idea that agricultural systems should not require a lot of work to maintain, they should improve the land, and produce in ways that provide for humans, animals, and other local ecosystems. There are three ethics central to permaculture philosophy: earth care, people care, and fair share. Earth care means to rebuild the natural capital of the environment and to take care of the soil. People care simply means caring for family, community companionship, and self. This also involves self-reliance and working to reduce the production and consumption of unnecessary material resources. Fair share means to voluntarily set limits on consumption and redistribute the surplus back into the community. This is not a call for centralized management of resources, but instead a recognition of the need for self-organizing among sovereign individuals. In a truly freed market, individuals will prefer to do business with communities operating with sustainability and environmental awareness in mind. Those who practice unsustainable practices and environmental destruction will quickly lose support and economic power. In his book, Permaculture Principles and Pathways Beyond Sustainability, David Holmgren expanded on the permaculture philosophy with the addition of 12 principles. We will not be examining each principle individually, however, they are provided to emphasize the mentality behind the philosophy of permaculture. Number 1, observe and interact. Number 2, catch and store energy. Number 3, obtain a yield. Number 4, apply self-regulation and accept feedback. Number 5, use and value renewable resources and services. Number 6, produce no waste. Number 7, design from patterns to details. Number 8, integrate rather than segregate. Number 9, use small and slow solutions. Number 10, use and value diversity. Number 11, use edges and value the marginal. Number 12, creatively use and respond to change. Permaculture can be viewed as a less forceful, more mindful approach to living off the land. Agorism is also a less forceful, mindful approach applied to economics and exchange. Both philosophies encourage creation and building. When combined together, we get PermAgora, the synthesis of permaculture and agorism and the application of both approaches simultaneously. PermAgora is a developing school of thought based on the research of permaculture student Eric McCool. In Eric's words, quote, "The goal is the restoration of the natural systems of the planet and changes in our way of life so that we need not be dominated by violence and coercion." End quote. To remove the violence and coercion from every aspect of our lives, we must adopt new ways of thinking about the environment. The coming conscious Agora will benefit from an alliance of freedom cells practicing PermAgora. We hope to lead the way.